Hi folks, this is what happens to your repeating bait trap when your paperboy drives through your yard and doesn't know you have your trap set. So today I'm going to rebuild this trap, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to show you how to make your own repeating bait trap for sparrows and starlings. So now my lovely assistant Riley and I are going to get started. First we have to disassemble this trap, and then we'll get some new pieces put together. So back in a minute. Okay folks, now we have that smash trap disassembled. And as you can see, my new paper lady really did a number on it. Now this is the working part of the trap, and although it looks like a complicated deal when it's all tore up like this, it's really not. This is called the elevator. Riley and I are going to go cut some new pieces of wood, and we'll show you how to make one of these. It's really quite simple. So we're off to the saw building. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, I and the lovely Riley are back from the saw building to show you what we have cut here. These are all the parts you need to construct your sparrow trap. Now I have 3 pieces of 1/2 inch exterior grade plywood. You can use regular dimension lumber or whatever you have around the house. I just happen to have some exterior plywood, so I have 3 pieces that are 8 inches by 16 inches. We'll need 2 of those for the elevator and 1 for the back of the trap. You'll see as we start to put the trap together. We also need 4 pieces of this is just regular scrap lumber, 3/4 inch lumber, that are 4 inches by 5 inches. So let's get started. We'll put this trap together. You know, the first thing I want to do is I want to determine the exact center of these 2 boards. So it's pretty easy. Just take a straight edge, go from corner to corner on here, draw a pencil line, then the other corner to corner, another pencil line, and then you know that that is the exact center of that rectangle. Now we'll just do that to the other board. Make sure we can find the center of this. Okay, our next step is we have to cut one of the corners off of each of these boards. So we need to make a rectangle cut in the corner, and we want that rectangle 3.5 inches by 5 inches wide. So I'll measure down 3.5 inches from the corner here, and then of course 5 inches across the top, and then I'll mark that rectangle out and now I have to cut this rectangle out of this board, and I'll do that to both of these pieces. Now we have our 2 8 by 16 boards with a 3.5 by 5 inch corner cut off of them, and we have true center found on those. The next step is we're going to make a pivot for a teeter-totter to ride on inside of these boards. And to do that, I just take a little piece of scrap wood, whatever you have laying around, doesn't have to be anything fancy. Remember, this isn't cabinet making, we're making a sparrow trap. You don't have to have perfect miters, and your paper lady's probably going to run over it anyway. So don't spend a lot of time on this stuff, just use what you got and just make it work. I'll take this little scrap piece of wood, and what I'll do is I'll cut a little V, just like this, in one side of that, for my teeter-totter to ride in. Just a little V right there, and then once I have that V cut, we'll attach those over dead center on that board. Okay, now as you can see, I've got these little wood blocks. I've got this notch cut right in the top there, just a small notch. Now our next step is to attach these to the 2 side pieces of the elevator. We want to use a little exterior glue. I like this polyurethane glue, works very well. We'll just put a little bit of that. Remember, this is going to go right on the center point of that board, and this has to be on the bottom half of the trap. Where this cutout is the top, so make sure that you have this glued on the other side of this cutout. So we'll put a little glue on there, and then we'll place our block on there, and we'll make sure that that notch is centered up right on the center point of that board. And now my lovely assistant Riley is going to nail that for me while I hold that. But first, she's going to put on these safety glasses. Got them on, hon? All right, come on over here. Now I'll hold that. We'll go ahead and pull the trigger. All right, one more. Perfect. Now we'll go ahead and do the other side, and we'll finish up both of these halves of the elevator. Our next step is to attach a bait tray and a landing pad on this so that the bird has a spot to land and a place to walk through to get to the bait. We'll attach those right now. Now what we use for those are just two plain blocks of dimension lumber, 4x5, and we'll attach those on the opposite side of this V block here, just like this, right here. And we'll glue those up and get those attached. Alright, now here are the two completed sides of our elevator. We've got the landing and the bait tray, our two blocks inside to hold the lever, and now we're going to attach these together. To do that, we'll just take these 5x4 blocks that we cut, and these will go right in here to make the inside of this 4 inches wide. We'll put one at the top and one at the bottom and nail this together. Okay, now here, this is the completed exterior assembly of our elevator. Remember, we have our two 8x16 side pieces. We have a 4x5 piece on the top and the bottom that hold these together. We have our landing, our bait tray, and remember the two little V blocks that are inside here to hold our teeter-totter. Now we're going to make the most important part of this trap. We're going to make the pivoting, the swinging arm that the sparrow will actually land on that will dump him into the trap.